They're going for it, kind of. You know, they just want to be able to walk back and forth behind the tower a little bit more quickly so they seem more threatening. But here we go. Ziviz moves up a little bit, uses that shockwave, but it doesn't have much of an effect. He goes down. Charlie T finds Toaster on the sidelines. Toaster having the kite back here. Tundra, he's back though. Toaster is very low. Alfari trying to chase on him, but look at this escape from Toaster. He's kiting back constantly. Do they have the damage? Polk, he's in the middle of everyone, gets taunted up by Tundra. Tundra doing a good job of sticking on him right now, and actually Memento's AP build really starting to shine here. Polk just getting away. Toaster, he healed up a lot over that fight, but definitely one that went in favor of Infused.
Oh, it's carrying on.
Oh, he's staying in! What are you doing, Toaster? That was questionable at best and a downright mistake at least.
So this all started with Ziviz trying to defend that top lane tower. He felt like he could hold it, but he ends up getting caught completely out of position. He holds his cleanse for way too long and ends up losing his life as a result. And what we saw there was basically a 4 versus 4 team fight because of how quickly they were able to pick up Charlie T. And it brings us back to the original point that you made, that FM have no damage. Toaster was hitting whoever he could, but he just couldn't get through the front line that was Infused. Meanwhile, on the back line, Polk was just doing so much damage on that Sivir. He's now 7-2 with an Infinity Edge and Phantom Dancer, and you just cannot compare the damage of Polk to Toaster because it's just uncomparable. He's just doing so much damage, and it's just literally, as you said at the start, they just don't have the damage to get through the front line of a Maokai and an Alistar.
I think Ziviz, we were talking about items earlier, he's got to get the death cap. I don't think there's an option. He needs to be providing high damage. I think he needs a death cap and full 40% CDR, so he's kind of like an AP version of an AD carry with just large, continuous amounts of damage output. If he doesn't have that, I don't really think that FM can, exist in this late game. There's the ultimate. They're going in. Great flash over the wall. Ziviz gets taken out immediately. Nutri doesn't have much of a way out of here. Uses that explosive cask. Quick 2 kills for Infused, and actually Toaster needs to be careful here not to bite off more than he can chew. He's doing decent damage, but swapping into that Alistar, not a good idea, buddy. There's the Chaos Storm. Tundra taking a lot of damage on the side. FM, this is lights out. They lost momentum, and as a result, I don't think they can win this.
Yeah, it's not looking very good right now for FM. With an 8,000 gold lead in the favor of Infused, they are looking to put a bit of a strange teleport coming out from Alfari. I guess he wanted to try and defend that top lane tower, but decided that this bottom inhibitor was a lot more important. And what we saw right there was the problem with Orianna. She's got no defensive abilities to keep her alive. We do see flashed on.
Oh, that actually does land on 3. That's a big one. Shockwave on the 4. Lots of AoE going down here, but there we go. Ziviz gets taken out again. It just doesn't matter. The game has gone on too long, and no matter how good the crowd control is, the damage is not there. Our fan, he's kind of stuck, I think, and he is likely going to go down. Maybe not. Depends on Toaster. He does pick it up. Alfari is going to be coming up next. Toaster, he's doing as much as he can to defend here, but an inhibitor's down at 23 minutes. I mean, what do you do as FM?
Think about what you can do coming into the next game. At this point, it's not looking great. There's always the risk that Infused throw again. You can see this time. This is exactly what I was saying from Infused. The last game, they ran a comp that required very specific win conditions. This game, they're a lot freer to make mistakes. If they get caught out, it's okay because their team fight is just so incredibly strong. Their composition is just so well-rounded that it covers so many bases, and this is what they needed to be doing last game, and this is what I expect them to be doing this game. This is sort of classic Infused. They need that very well-rounded composition, and as you rightly said, they outpicked FM this game. I don't know what the rationale behind the Urgot pick was, but if they'd picked a slightly harder carry AD carry, I mean, they saved their AD carry pick for the end. They saw the Sivir, we could have gone with the Vayne again. And with an Orianna to offer a bit more peel for the Vayne, and with a Shen, Vayne might have worked very, very well against that composition, but for some reason they decided to go for this Urgot, and it just hasn't worked out for them. So at the moment, it's not looking great. If they can maybe get a Baron steal, or maybe get a few picks here and there, there's a way for them to get back into the game. Meanwhile, Wisdom call out.
Yeah, and this is a big engage coming in from Infused. Lots of speed ups popped. But with the tower there, it's hard for them to go. And Arfan actually taking a lot of poke from Ziviz. Does need to be a little bit careful, but here comes Memento. He was stealth. Now he's coming in. The flash pull failed, and Ziviz gets out of there. He doesn't have the mana, though. That's a lot of AoE coming in from Pope and the rest of Infused. Charlie T doing a lot of damage. That could have been really good if Ziviz had mana, but without it, Infused just take it so easily.
Well, Ziviz only altered Alistair. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what his plan was. He wasn't in a great position there, and his ult completely whiffed, and I'm just not a fan of Orianna. She's not a bad champion by any means. I just don't feel that teams are used to playing her. They just pick her because they don't know what else to pick into Victor. And this is a problem for teams that I feel. They need to think about things that can do well into Victor. And as a mid laner, I know there are plenty of things available. I do wonder why they banned Azir, to be honest with you, because while Azir has had some nerfs, it's still definitely a viable champion. And if Charlie T chose to pick Azir, that means that Ziviz could have picked Victor again. And again, that matchup is a very even one that can go in both ways. But I feel like FM coming into this next game, which is highly likely, need to think about this pick and ban very clearly. They will obviously have the first pick, so they might be looking to first pick the Victor instead. And we'll have to see, but right now, not the best performance from FM, and I think it is largely down to getting caught out a few too many times and just a slightly weaker team composition.
Yeah, and I think, Victor has really been the lucky charm of a lot of teams in this tournament. We haven't seen it do poorly practically ever. I can't think of a game that it's lost, actually. So if they can first pick it, I would. If they don't want it, I would ban it,
Our fan.
Ooh, he does actually get caught out here. Explosive Cast keeps him close, but it doesn't do much, to be honest. How far he actually looked like he wanted to go in there. Gets face of the mountain, I believe that, or a Quicksilver Sash on Alfari. Whoa. Okay.
Oh.
So he uses that to get out of there.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can understand it. There is quite a lot of yeah, there's a fair amount of crowd control coming out from the side of FM, so he just wants it to be able to get onto the back line a lot easier. You can see the flank coming out from Memento. I wonder whether or not he's going to try for any engage. He does have his ultimate available, but that draws Ziviz away long enough to be able to get the tower. Meanwhile, engage in the mid.
Yeah, they're trying to find something here. Poke is doing a lot of damage onto Toaster. Now he's got Alfari running a Nutri, trying to keep them off the back line, but Memento sweeping him up. Decent ultimate from Ziviz, but look at how little damage it does. Memento, he's the next target, but it doesn't even matter. Infused are rolling through the base of FM right now. This is going to go to a game 3. It's down to the wire, VDS.
It is indeed, and it does look like definitely a much quicker game compared to their first one. Infused got an early lead, and they held it this time, so we will have to see whether or not that changes coming into game 3. We will be taking a short break as we set up the next match, but don't go anywhere. Stay tuned with us, and we will be back with game 3 for this final of Infused versus FM. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It turns out that we are actually going to go to a game 3 for this final between FM eSports and Team Infused. First game was a very close game between both teams. The second game saw a very dominant performance coming out from the side of Infused. So we will be going into game 3 in a little while. But tell me, what are your thoughts coming into this third and final game?
Man, it has been a lot of awesome league over this weekend, and I really think these two teams do represent the best two of the tournament. From what I've seen, the games between them have been very close, but both games of the finals, the pick and ban phases have been what have determined the outcomes. I would like to see both teams step up their game in that respect. Stop picking Urgot and start picking things that make a little bit more sense. Now, Victor being banned, hallelujah, that makes so much sense. They're listening.
So we will see different mid laners this game, other than Orianna and Victor. And while Orianna wasn't a bad pick there, I don't think the matchup is negative at all for Orianna. I just feel that Orianna is not a well-practiced champion. I feel like all mid laners are aware of how Orianna works and how to play her, but I feel like a lot of mid lanes haven't perfected her. Like, if you think about Power of Evil, he regularly practices and plays Orianna, and I feel that, like, in particular, the two mid lanes that we have here, Orianna's not really their go-to champion. So I feel like steering away from